Wow, what a day. We are up here in Hampton Beach, New Hampshire. Did you ever come up to a beach or any beach at all that you go to and you see pots? Do you really think that these pots just grow every single year? Well, I'm going to tell you, I have the privilege and the honor to meet Linda here. Linda, come on in. And her husband, Dave, okay? And what they do is with a whole group of volunteers, they go around all of Hampton Beach and they do this. Every single day they do this. And if you see this, it's unbelievable. It's an amazing. Well, what got you into this? Because one thing I love about this is that when I called you to come and meet you, they both came down on a bicycle. You can't make that up. I mean, in the middle of summer. So how did you get into this? And it seems like the passion and the love on both of you, you really enjoy this.
We wouldn't do it if we didn't enjoy it. We're not crazy. Never was. We love flowers. We've always gardened all our lives. And so when we retired here, we noticed there was no color, there was no pots or gardens anywhere. And it's like, what's wrong with this picture? So I started asking questions, and the answer was that you can't grow anything on Hampton Beach.
That's what they told you. They were all doubters.
And as a gardener, both of us, we said, you just watch us. And so we got permission from the state to start by the bridge because we could get water there from them. And it grew, and now we have 12 gardens. So from 1 to 12 in multiple pots.
And one thing that I'm getting the understanding from you is this was a very, very bad year as far as Hampton Beach in general. And if I'm saying this right, a lot of the sand came and covered all your gardens. And we're not talking this much, we're talking a lot. And you both, with also your group of volunteers, had to clean all of those. Is that true?
Yes, yes. Yeah.
And you have some pictures that the gardens were beautiful, beautiful gardens, and then you had to scrape out and you had to dig out and you had to transport all the sand back to where it goes. And the pictures are unbelievable. We're going to go down right now and see some of the gardens that you created, because when you walk around, you see people, you see sand, but the gardens that you created are just unimaginable. The creation that you've done with your team, it just kind of soothes the soul, I think. So can we go down and see
Absolutely.
And talk about some of the gardens?
Come on down.
Let's do it.
All right.
Linda,
sorry.
This is one of the gardens that your committee and you and your husband created. This is unbelievable. Can you tell me a little bit about this? Because we're deep in the middle of Hampton Beach right here, and you've created this garden. This is one of the gardens that you said had sand up to here, right? No, and the sand had to come out of here, and you had to haul it all out of here. And look at this. It's unbelievable. Can you tell us all about this garden? Because it's amazing.
All right, well, 90% of this garden are perennials, which means they come back every year. But with a foot or more of sand on here, we had to get it out because without sunlight we would have lost all of them. So there were 4 of us on our hands and knees. It took 2 weeks, and we clawed all the sand out. The state came with a caterpillar and scooped it up, and yes, it went back to where it belongs, on the beach, not on the garden.
Now, I notice in a lot of these are pollinators.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yes.
And that works all together with the environment. I mean, you've got a butterfly bush in the background there.
Very good.
You've got salvia here.
Very
you know,
good.
You've got an Asiatic lily here, and you got a Joe Pye weed over here. I mean, you're mixing it all up, but then you got your past bloom peonies. You know, all these colors and all these shapes all kind of really enhance each other in the garden. And I noticed there's no butterflies today, but does Joe Pye weed really work here?
Yes, and also we have milkweed. We have the native milkweed. We're in the migrating path of the monarchs, so in the fall we want to make sure we have nectar for them and milkweed when they migrate. They are now coming up from Mexico. They usually arrive around the 4th of July, and we have this banquet set up for them.
Really?
Around during the summer, have a couple of generations, and then in September they head back to Mexico. So we have 12 of these pollinator gardens all along the seacoast here.
Wow. And just the way as you walk by, and I hope everybody, when they come to Hampton Beach, they look at this garden and they see the work and the labor that they've actually done here. I mean, this is amazing. And like I said, they're pollinators, people are pollinators. We need more bees out there, more bees out here. Well, let's walk a little bit backwards here because...
And turn around.
Can you... Oh, that's fine.
Taking photos.
Well, she's enjoying the garden.
Enjoying it.
So, tell me a little, you even got like a little, looks like it reseeded himself, a cleome.
Yes.
Randomly there.
Yep.
And why did you place different plants in different ways? Because it looks like you got your tops, and then you got your flowing into the, like to the nice sidewalk.
And all this yellow is a perennial, it's evening primrose, and it blooms in the spring. So we start with daffodils and tulips in the spring, the early perennials, and then the late summer bloomers, and then we have mums in the fall. So there's always something in bloom here, always.
And as we walk down, as I can't believe the magic and the color, John, what does it take? What is your routine every single day to go around? This is only one of the gardens and the other two parts. What does it take to do this on an everyday, an everyday affair?
Every day, flowers need deadheading, which means removing the spent flower, or the perennials will not continue to bloom if you don't. Water it every day.
Yep. So you want to show them where the water is?
So let me see. So you have it? Do you have an irrigation system here or no?
No, it's just a water source.
Okay.
And it's metered. We have to pay for the water.
Okay. And so you maintain this on a daily basis. Now I'm sure there's some people out there that really don't, they'll throw stuff. So you got to clean up after the people and maintain the paper and etc. to make it look like this. Because by all means, this garden and all the other gardens that you have around here are definitely done by both of you and the rest of the committee.
Yes.
And what does it take to do something like this?
A lot of energy.
And it seems like you enjoy the garden.
Yes. Yeah.
Definitely. It's a source of pleasure for us, a feeling of accomplishment. We've done something to beautify the place, enhance people's experience here. It also serves the native wildlife, because food for all the insects that we can find, except those that we don't want.
So yeah, I notice you have, signs, clean up after your dog and all that.
Yeah.
When people go by here, do you ever get comments as you're grooming and you're looking, hey, thank you so much, or how can they become a helper to do that? Because it seems like you can do so many things besides going over and having cotton candy over there and sitting in the beach all day long. You could actually, better than the gym, use some energy in the garden, and that's that's really what you're doing every day. And is it an everyday thing, or is it a weekly thing, or it all depends?
It's every day that people are here. Almost all of our volunteers have joined us through that process.
Now,
They come by and say, look, how can I help?
and how can people reach out to you to become a volunteer? We'll say next year someone says, hey, I like Hampton Beach, I want to help out, or I enjoy gardening, I used to be a gardener. How can they reach out to you and say, hey, I want to be a part of this? I want to make a perfect painting that I used to do in my own garden, and I downsized, and I'm living up here in Hampton Beach, or I could just be a visitor. How can I help?
Well, I'm glad you mentioned that, because one of the volunteers who works here, she lives in one of the high-rise condos, and so she can't garden. And when she finishes up in the summer, she thanks me for allowing her to work in the garden. So to reach out to us, this is funded by the Hampton Beach Village District, which pays for the sandcastles and fireworks and all that. They pay to have the flowers bought and fertilized and mulched and all that. And there's 3 commissioners: Chuck Rage, who owns the Hillcrest across the street, Lorraine Buckley, and Bob Ladd. and anybody on the beach knows the 3 beach commissioners. And then there's a sign that says that the garden was planted by volunteers from the Hampton Beach Village District Beautification Committee.
And we were talking earlier, you said not do you only have this one, but where are the other places? Because it's going to be taking all day thing when we're not going to do it. It's getting too hot out here. But where are the other gardens, and describe what they look like and what it entails to maintain those? Because you not only go to this one, but you got to go to the pots.
Yeah, north and south. We started at the state park by the bridge because we knew we could get water from their shed. So we have lilacs, and there's 2 beds there. There's 3 boats of flowers. John planted a beautiful entrance bed with daylilies a couple years ago. We planted over probably 15 trees around, street trees and that. There's a huge garden. It's the biggest one. It's in front of Walk the Walk restaurant, where the 2 streets, Ocean Boulevard and Ashford, come together. That's a massive garden. That has irrigation. We actually have a dripper system in there. Go ahead. You jump in. The memorial.
There's a garden at the memorial. Around the statue itself. Behind the bench, and then at the place where Ocean Boulevard and Ashworth Avenue separate, there's an island in the middle of the road, which is also a garden.
And 3 big urns that are this big.
Yeah. Tall urns,
which I have to get on a stool to
5 foot
reach the center of them. They're massive.
that are planted.
We do the firehouse. There's a little garden at the firehouse, the stage.
That's amazing. Now,
Goes on a-
so as I listen, and it's unbelievable what I'm hearing, and this is great. This is fascinating. You know, what do you do during the winter time?
We escape. We're lucky ones to get to go to Florida.
Yeah.
And do you have a garden in Florida?
We're on a beautification committee in Florida. I hate to tell you.
See, I knew it. Not only does it stay here in Hampton Beach, but it goes to Florida too.
Yeah. So
And
we
that's
garden year round.
And that's a whole different garden altogether,
I have to
because you got
relearn.
tropicals.
Yeah, I have to relearn the names when I get down there, and then I come back here, and it's like, oh yeah, that's the daffodil, that's the tulip, and that's a, you know.
Yeah, on the show we don't get technical. We don't use Latin names and all that.
Yeah.
Basic names. As basic as you can in gardening. So, and you enjoy that, and that, what have you created down there? And then do you vice versa think of ideas up here that you can incorporate?
I've been experimenting with some plants, and I bring seeds with me and see if I can grow some stuff. And annuals grow, stuff like this grows year round. Like I introduced the blanket flower at where we are, and it just went crazy because it could grow. You know, we leave in the spring, and I went back and I had 10 plants, and I got back and there were 50. And it was like, oh my goodness, what did I do? But this actually is a native of Florida, so I'm learning that
Really?
the natives, yeah, this is listed as a native in Florida.
So I'm going to throw a curveball because I love daylilies and I love hostas. Any reason, and those send you out all leader roots and all that. Any reason why, maybe I'm in the wrong garden, I don't see any different varieties of hostas?
Yes, hostas are up in front of the Ashworth, and daylilies are in the there and at the Big Island across from the Walk restaurant. There's a whole point. There's 2 points to the garden, and one point is just all Stelladora, and so I try to mix it up. You know, I go and this is a cottage garden. You know, it's not edged. It's not absolutely perfect, and this is a more casual cottage garden.
And one thing that I noticed that, you know, you have all these, like I said, specialty in different varieties and, you know, unique plantings. When do you make a decision to split them up? Because you've got irises. When is the time that you say, okay, I'm going to take some of the Stelladoras and I'm going to, you know, bring them somewhere else? When do you decide that? Do you do it, it's just by how it looks?
I've just divided some irises, and after they bloom is the best time because you know what color and variety you have. Once
Well, okay.
you go by,
That makes
it's very
sense.
hard. But usually the rule of thumb is after something blooms, then it kind of,
That's the time
yeah, rests.
to prune trim, divide. That's the best time for the flower. It's shortly after it blooms.
Yeah. And I share a lot of my flowers. So we have like an ice cream social for our 18 volunteers at our house in the summer and August. And I have some of the divided things in pots. And so that's kind of the reward. They get to have ice cream and have fun and kayak and do the stuff in front of our cottage, but then they all go home with plants to their gardens, and that's a way of keeping it going.
So that's kind of cool. So you get almost like a trophy
Yes.
out of Hampton Beach
Yes.
that you can incorporate in your own personal garden.
Yes. Yep.
Wow. Well, that is really amazing. Well, I'm beside myself. These are so amazing. There's so much work it looks like involved. I really, really appreciate you coming and talking with you about these gardens. I am going to take a look at some of the lilacs that you have down there and the other gardens and film those and look at them. So once again, how can they reach out to you and be part of this on this amazing journey that it truly seems like you love?
Well, again, the Hampton Beach Village District, there's 3 commissioners, and most anybody can get a hold of them. They're very easy, but Chuck Rage is the chairperson. And again, his place is right across the street, so he knows what's going on in this.
It's got a beautiful view.
Yeah, he has.
Wow.
Their phone numbers and email addresses are on the town website.
So you go to the town of Hampton Beach, New Hampshire, and then it would be under the heading
Village District, Hampton Village District.
okay, which we have, and I'm gonna grab the camera and I'm gonna show you, and shut up. I mean, these colors are unbelievable. I mean, if you look, it's amazing. Not only do you got bees,
That lily is called Lollipop, white container. It's called Lollipop.
that is unbelievable. And then over here we have the
Daisies, blanket flower, sedum, autumn joy sedum,
is that a Mona Lisa?
joy pie. This is
Oak leaf hydrangea?
hibiscus.
Hibiscus,
Thank you.
the summer one, yes.
Yeah, it's a white one, and I have a red one down there. This is Goro. Are you familiar with this?
Unbelievable.
I love this. It moves in the wind, and you don't have to deadhead it. It starts moving here, and its stem keeps going. These are all flowers that are coming. I love this. This is one of my favorite beach flowers.
And I'm sure that the bees love it.
Yeah, it's very windy. Usually there are bees here, but it's very windy.
And they obviously,
And I have another
butterfly.
butterfly bush. Yeah. And here's this one day though. Has one. This is a fall one.
And that's getting ready to show itself in the fall.
And these were all beautiful yellow irises here. So I started like that needs to be divided when it makes a circle like that. It's like, you know, it's made a circle and it kind of chokes itself out, so that should be divided.
Yeah, and you could probably get quite a few plants out of that.
Yep. And I also have, this one here is a re-blooming white. It actually will bloom again in late August.
Really? Wow.
With the new short letters.
Now this almost looks like rosemary, but what is it?
Oh, that's lavender.
Oh, okay. See, I don't know. Oh, I screwed up. You know, it almost looks like a tip of a pineapple. If you could smell that, I can smell it now.
Can you smell it?
Yeah, but put it on the camera. Maybe you can smell it on the camera. Oh, unbelievable out here. It's like perfume out here. Okay, so once again, what a phenomenal job.
Here we are. That's the logo.
And it's, and when this was established in 1907.
Yeah.
And you've been doing this for how many years now? 20 years. Amazing.
Yeah, we retired from Connecticut and moved here for leisure, and then we started planting flowers. But once a gardener, always a gardener. You can't not do it. Oh, down there.
So this is why they plant the garden, because people enjoy and love the garden. I mean, it's an amazing thing. As they walk by, they love. You can't make this up. And yeah, it's Hampton Beach. What a conversation. Well, she's definitely making people happy, one step at a time.
Taller. So what is the smaller yellow? Yeah, no, it's fall bloom primrose and it's a perennial. Yeah, and that's coreopsis. That's the same as that. Yeah. I have peonies. It's a dark red peony. This is like a flower. You're familiar with like a flower. So these are all perennials. These come back up here.
So you don't have to keep replanting.
No, they're perennials. They're part of the fruit. Yes, Diane. Yep. Yeah, there are many carnations. And this is autumn joy sedum. Yeah. Got that.
That was amazing what she showed us, those gardens, the creativity that she did. Well, it wouldn't be a complete day without stopping by, and it's called the Candy Corner. They've been here for 28 years. It's a husband and wife team and her daughter. But look at this. I remember as a kid coming to the beach and doing all these activities. Look at these. And watching the machine through the window. Basically taking the candy. Well, look at this. They've got so many more varieties coming into the 2024 season. I mean, look at this. It just keeps going and going and going. It's unbelievable. And they also make their own fudge. The day wouldn't be complete without just getting a whole bunch of goodie bags and everything. I love it. Thank you so much, and I hope you enjoyed the show.
You're right, thank you. I didn't see her, she's behind over. Yeah. Oh my, thank you. That's it. That's